Hello everyone and welcome to the final best of 3 in the group stage of this Intel Extreme Masters Season 2. It is one last time Group C. It is LiiLD.C, the Swedish Night Elf player who is spawning on the left hand side of Echo Isles and who's going to go for a Tavern Hero build with an Ancient of War first. Probably here, yeah, and we're gonna see him for the last time in the tournament, as he will be out no matter what happens in this best of 3. And his opponent is the German human player Fire, who needs one map in this best of 3 to end up on rank 3 of this group. So if he wins one map, he will be the third rank. If he loses 2-0, then he's going to be out, and Dovak will be the third rank. So yeah, a lot on the line for him, and he certainly was not known to be the greatest player against Night Elf. Very strong in Human Mirror, pretty much considered to be the best German human at the time against Undead, against Orc, so, but not his strong suit playing against Night Elf. And he's gonna start with AM first here with the slightly forward placed Scout Farm, whereas LiiLD.C producing the first Archer. Gonna go to the Tavern. As I said, LiiLD.C is going to be out nevertheless, or no matter what happens here, so we're gonna see if he's gonna go for some wacky first hero choice, or if it's just going to be the expected with this build order Dark Ranger first. I mean, I say it every time basically, seeing this matchup with a Tavern Hero and Echo Isles. There are plenty of opportunities here for the Night Elf. Most likely Dark Ranger, perhaps Beastmaster, perhaps Panda, or you know, something completely crazy. Fire is starting here with the 4 militia. It looks like he's going to go for the instant expansion. In the meantime, we're going to keep a close eye on the Tavern, as that's where we're gonna see LiiLD.C's heroes spawning soon. And yeah, it is the expected Dark Ranger, so not going for anything completely crazy here. Still playing a serious strategy. So Fire, very unfortunate. Yeah, he only got one ensnare triggered of those troll trappers. That means spawning the water elemental would force an ensnare, or would trigger the creep's AI to ensnare that. So he had to tank the damage on his units, which is a bit painful, and which is not what you usually want. And he's immediately heading across the map here. LiiLD.C starts creeping his orange camp here after finishing the green one first, so it's going to be level 2 here in just a second. Fire is trying to come in to go for some harassment. Shadow Priest has already been bought here, so for the time being water elementals aren't really a threat, and level 2 has been reached on the Dark Ranger already. So let's see what Fire is really going to be able to achieve here. Expansion is being set into place. Arcane Tower halfway finished already. Fire at this point also knows exactly about what's happening. The expansion is coming up here. And is the lone AM going to be able to cancel that? I guess the answer is no, because there's plenty of mana on the Shadow Priest. It looks like he hasn't used any healing thus far, as there is, you know, enough mana for 3 dispels currently. Well, almost 3 dispels. But yeah, easily enough to fend off any human attacks against the counter expansion. So Fire buying the dust. He sold whatever he found there previously. I didn't pay attention, unfortunately. But couldn't have been all too great. And LiiLD.C just continues creeping, you know, making use of the fact that all of these camps around here do have a lot of low HP creeps, which means a lot of skeletons for this Dark Ranger. As you can see, this means that he should have complete control over the left hand side of the map currently, sending a couple of skeletons across the map to do some harassment. Fire is seeing those right now with his footmen. Not doing anything about them though, as the Arcane Tower should be able to deal with them quite nicely. Even the second Arcane Tower is going to finish by the time they arrive. Fire is marching very much forward with his AM. Still didn't get the level 2, which, well, given that he's so, you know, passive with his water metals, hardly using any of them, I guess he can afford. But with level 2 he could of course throw them out a little bit more casually. Then again, LiiLD.C is really putting a lot of effort into keeping mana on his Shadow Priest. So some nice little mind games there happening. Now the Water Metal is being spawned. The Shadow Priest is ensnared. The first archer has to fall back here. Now the first footman is taking a lot of damage. As you can see, the focus fire is quite great. The Dark Ranger already level 3, which means level 2 Dark Arrow, which means level 2 Skeletons, which is doing quite great. Of course, the Moonwells are in, you know, synergy with their strategy, spread towards the bottom of the map, which means the archers will always have, or will have quite quick means of healing up, and therefore are a lot harder to kill compared to when the Moonwells would be at the top of the map with the Tree of Life. Speaking of the Tree of Life, tier 2 tech halfway done for LiiLD.C. Fire only slightly behind, and he's done. He's lost a lot of footmen here. Wow, LiiLD.C losing the archer here. He's lost a lot of footmen here, but at the same time he has been able to delay the counter expansion by quite a bit. And we will see eventually when Fire reaches tier 2 and goes for a big army with his expansion in the back, if that was really worth it. Currently though, he's gonna fall back. LiiLD.C just continues creeping. I'm curious though how he plans to creep up his second hero, as he's taken all of the significant camps except the turtle camp in the corner of his side of the map already, and he's taking the first of the contested camps right now as well, which is fine. You know, Dark Ranger is going to be level 4, which isn't going to hurt, but usually you'd expect him to want to get a panda up to level 3 as well. Fire is again here to do some harassment, going for one of the archers here, which is there to defend all by itself, which, you know, isn't doing all too much against footmen and water elementals. But now with the Dark Ranger in position, he's very easily able to defend this expansion against the harass. Let's see if Fire is going to get the Entangled Goldmine delayed here even further. Some of the units waiting here for the panda, and yeah, he's picking that one up. Not all too surprising, and he's heading towards the top immediately to take that second contested camp, which means he's going to maintain or even increase his huge lead in terms of advantage on his heroes, XP advantage. And yeah, Fire hasn't been able to do all too much against this Entangled Goldmine, now has to retreat. So he's facing a huge XP disadvantage. The panda is going to be level 2 here. In just a second, it's going to pick up another potentially great item. Greater mana potion would of course be the preferred drop there for the Night Elf. And he's getting potion of greater healing. Not as much. Fire is even adding some riflemen here, now getting double Arcane Sanctum. He's got a workshop already, of course. A blacksmith. No workshop coming just yet. So is he gonna go for a very quick push with riflemen and casters? Naga second as well. So he really wants to keep the pressure up, but thus far LiiLD.C has done a very good job. As I said, Panda is over level 2 already, and this is still not really an army that LiiLD.C is going to be all too fearful of. These two archers are going to be pretty easy targets though against or for the cold arrow of this Naga. But with the next bunch of mercenaries, LiiLD.C seems to be very much in shape to defend here. The panda does have the greater heal potion, so he's not really in any trouble, and therefore Fire decides not to focus him, but to focus the first of the 4-star Shadow Priests, getting the kill there. Another footman has fallen in the meantime. A rifleman is being microed out there. The berserker is microed out as well, so both of them are microing out their stuff decently, except for this Shadow Priest, but they are dying so quickly anyways. But yeah, it looks like Fire at this point only has 2 low HP heroes left and like 1 rifleman or 2 riflemen, which isn't going to be enough to break this expansion. But he's at least doing a decent job microing his stuff out, not losing all too much here. But at the same time not really achieving all too much either. The block is coming in by the archer. The Dryad is coming in and he realizes it's slowing the AM, and he's just clicking that town portal immediately, losing another rifleman there in the end. And yeah, as you can see, LiiLD.C is up at tier 3 already. He's got his laws up, he's getting... Okay, these upgrades just now, it looks like instant tier 3, and the laws were a little bit delayed. But yeah, now the expansion is running for LiiLD.C. And he is teched up And he's got a supply disadvantage of 18-ish. Which I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, because Fire doesn't have any more bank, and he's got level 2 and 1 on his heroes, compared to 4 and almost 3. Yeah, somewhat close to 3. So all that LiiLD.C needs to do is hold on here for a little bit longer until he's getting a couple of bears on the field, and he's going to look extremely fine. Fire apparently wants to, you know, get rid of a little bit of that XP disadvantage. And getting an energy pendant here, as well as almost level 3 on the AM and level 2 on the Naga. LiiLD.C continues being aggressive. He's gonna take away this camp, or at least try to take it away from Fire. Panda almost level 3, and Fire, does he realize? Yeah, he realizes what's happening here. In the meantime, first mortar team added as well. And this army size slowly becomes quite threatening actually for LiiLD.C. 71 supply for Fire. LiiLD.C still hasn't broken upkeep, now does so, perhaps in anticipation of losing some units here. But even if he doesn't, you know, he needs to get some army eventually. And I mean, he did pick up a heal scroll, 2 heal scrolls already. Yeah, there's no reason not to break by now for LiiLD.C, because he knows the timing push of Fire is coming with a bunch of riflemen, 1 breaker, bunch of casters, and 3 mortar teams already. So Fire is gonna head to the shop here. I'm not sure if the next heal scroll is already going to be available, but he's certainly going to pick it up if it is. So let's see. Looks like it might not be. So he's gonna wait for the TP. He's gonna get that one, so this is going to be all in, but he's certainly going to try his best to break this expansion right now. There are 3 Master Bears available for LiiLD.C level 4-3. He does have a Staff of Preservation in the meantime, did pick up the Orb on the Panda quite a while ago. And now we're gonna see a big engagement. A bunch of militia are coming in as well for Fire, who does not have a single heal score against the Panda though. But quite a big army. The bears not getting into a good position just yet, trying to crawl forward. Now they're doing so. The first sorceress is falling. The first bear already has to be microed back. Next breath of fire is coming in. The Panda doesn't have any more mana though, at least for the time being. The mortar teams from the back are doing a good job. No Dryad remaining here for LiiLD.C. The Age of War is taking part in the fight as well. The bears are now trying to march forward against these mortar teams, but Fire is doing a good job kiting thus far with them. Hasn't lost all too much though, but he has barely any front left. The last breath of fire did come in right now. One of the mortar teams in a bit of trouble and is finally going to fall. Where's the Dark Ranger here? In the middle of the fight, attacking the Naga. Naga is falling back. She does have the Invo Potion though, and she's going to be forced to use that one in just a second as it appears. But Fire continues trying to kite, but there's just nothing left to tank for him, and he's pulling the Town Pawn level 4 for the Panda. And LiiLD.C has held this push here, losing a bit, but still Fire didn't get all too close to holding this. And the Zorks, well, there's no slow in range for LiiLD.C, so they're gonna get in range. They're gonna get away, is what I was saying, just before the slow HP Zork turns around to die. So Fire, I think, did alright in that fight. It was simply the lack of heal scrolls, and it looks like he just didn't want to wait anymore. Imagine the same fight with 2 heal scrolls. I think Fire would have looked fine for another 30-ish seconds in that fight, with a much stronger army there in the end, because he would have lost a lot less of his army. Is the AM getting caught here? No, he isn't. Still no Dryad reinforcing thus far. There she comes. But still, Fire is in a very tough spot right now. His push was repelled. He's against a level 5.5 Dark Ranger, level 4 Panda, with still only level 3 and almost 3 Naga. LiiLD.C also is up at 77 right now even. Looks like he just put 2 more bears into production. 2 more Dryads. Yeah, of course, plus 6 supply is what that was, not plus 8. This time Fire is getting some items, an Invo Potion, a heal scroll. But this time he is the one down by about 10 supply. Unlike in the previous fight, and you don't want to be down in supply, down in hero levels, and out-teched by the opponent. There's really not all too much that's speaking in Fire's favor currently. Perhaps a lack of dispel against the slows. So all Fire has to do is micro magnificently, right? He's going for the kill on the Tree of Life, though, but his mortar teams are completely exposed. The first one falling immediately, he's repositioning them and starting to engage this fight right now. Drunken Haze is coming in by the Panda. Second mortar team has already fallen. Breath of Fire hitting the casters right now, and there's just no way in hell, as we can see, that Fire is standing any chance in this fight. He's lost 2 mortar teams, a Zork and a Breaker, if I counted correctly, and a TP against nothing. So that's another 12 supply, no, 11 supply, since the Zork is only 2, down the drain, plus the TP, as I said previously, for nothing. Fire down to 61 supply against 80 of LiiLD.C, who's banked up 1000 gold already as well. He does have 1-0 upgrades, 1-1 upgrade coming as well. So everything is looking great for LiiLD.C, who's playing this very convincingly. Fire continues creeping. Naga not in position. Actually reached level 3 already, so I was just thinking there for a second that she was so close to level 3 but not in position, but he grabbed this with the Naga previously. And alright, LiiLD.C again invisible, just making sure to always see what's happening. Fire did pick up a second heal scroll here, did pick up a second invul potion here. So finally he at least has some items to work with, but what difference is that going to make? We'll see. LiiLD.C is putting up the pressure right now. One of the arcane sanctums is gonna fall. The Dark Ranger is at the back of the human army, just revealing herself here. Silence onto all of the casters here as it appears, and he's just walking through towards the back of the human army, doing such a great focus fire with the Dark Ranger and the Dryads. And as you can see, these human units are falling so quickly. Once again, Fire totally unable to stand a chance in this fight, and even leaving two more casters behind. 70 supplies still remaining for LiiLD.C, 51 for Fire. And LiiLD.C just continues applying the pressure. And even level 6 on the Dark Ranger. Alright, so charming one of the breakers here, sending it to the backlines, as it was pretty low HP already. He's scroll used right now, not affecting the breaker, but still doing the job here. The Panda is doing some blocking, killing another breaker, and Fire really has nothing left except his 2 heroes and like 5 units. Invul potion has to be used by the Naga. The units of LiiLD.C are still charging forward. The Panda doesn't have mana for another breath, which would come in very handy, but as he's going to reach level 5, he's going to have that as well. Naga falling back once again. There's really nothing left for Fire to tank the damage. Level 5 now on the Panda, who does have the next Breath of Fire, and the Naga is falling. Everything is falling for Fire. And yeah, 80 supply against 31. LiiLD.C is going to kill this expansion and is going to secure the victory on map number 1. As I said during the game, a very convincing performance by LiiLD.C, getting that Dark Ranger early on very safely, going for that expansion. I mean, Fire was annoying him a little bit, and as I said, Fire lost a lot of units early on, a lot of footmen, which died for delaying the counter expansion, and he got away with a decent supply lead. But LiiLD.C had the map control, so he was able to buy all of the scrolls. And he had a sick level advantage with, like, I think 4-3 before the big push of Fire against the expansion, against 3-2. And no heal scrolls for Fire. And Fire was simply not able to break him with that push, not even close. And afterwards, LiiLD.C had basically all the trumps in his hand and very, very safely finished the game, very convincingly taking down Fire here. And this means the next map is going to be deciding if LiiLD.C wins, Fire is out, Dovahk is in, and if Fire wins, he's in and Dovahk is out. And that next map is going to be Turtle Rock.